Most things in this world are now a scam. You know what? Nobody knows what the truth is. And it's a fundamental right of humans to actually know what the truth is. And I think humans are very, very good at bending the truth to suit a particular narrative. I'm in my mid-40s now, so I've had the pleasure of seeing buildings fall over in America. I've seen a few wars that were started for questionable reasons. And I've lived through a pandemic. And all those events since 2020 have actually made me seriously question the narratives in this world, and I no longer know what to believe. And every which way that you turn, you're told not to question the narratives. You're told to believe what the powers that be tell you to be true. It seems like everything is fake now, certainly with social media and the fact that we've got the internet super glued to our hands 24/7, well, for some people 24/7. You know, we've got the billions of pounds worth of tax money, your tax money, that's going to fund wars and rebuilding of countries while our own countries fall to shit and our own people struggle to even get on in life. And you know what? Some of that money could actually be used to pay off people's student loans. So they've actually got a chance of getting on in life rather than struggling and having to work 2 or 3 jobs just to survive in this manufactured economy. And wouldn't that be nice? Just for people to have some breathing room, just so they could try and find a different job and not be stuck in a job they probably don't want to do. It seems like people are waking up. It will always be roughly 20% of any population that questions the narrative, or they wake up from their stupor. And it's probably because something was taken away from them during a pandemic or a war, or they might have lost money or their relationships or their house or their business. So it's not until those events happen that people start questioning narratives. And good for them. But the other 80% of people who like to keep their head in the sand, there's nothing wrong with that. And maybe sometimes ignorance is bliss. Why would you want to question a narrative if your life is okay anyway? So I'm not disrespecting these people. I just think most people have got their head in the sand while it's only a few million, or maybe there could be a couple of billion now that are starting to wake up to the lies and the propaganda. And the thing about the truth, it always gets forgotten about, or it's conveniently swept under the carpet, or there seems to be some other manufactured crisis around the world, a war, an energy crisis, continued division between people that makes people start arguing with each other rather than pointing the finger at the true enemies of the world. It's almost like the elite people want you to look that way or that way. So they want you to forget about the previous catastrophe that probably messed your life up, right? So as I said, I think there are a lot of scams in the world. And I think we need to be more vigilant than ever in today's clown world. So let's look at the renting system, you know, renting a house or an apartment. I think that is the biggest scam in society. You know, why should people have to go and work hard just to pay somebody's mortgage off? And I know this is a system that's been around for centuries, but why has nobody questioned it? People that rent are just slaves. And I'm renting at the moment, so I do think I'm a slave. But the thought of continuing to pay somebody else's mortgage off, that's just crazy. And it's not like the rent is cheap anymore, because the rent is very, very expensive and people are spending more than half of their salary on paying somebody's mortgage. So that, to me, is modern day slavery. I'm going through a mortgage process at the moment, so thank God in a few months' time I will stop paying somebody's mortgage off. But when I got the mortgage offer, I looked at the financials, and for every £1 that I borrow, I'll be paying £2.14 back to the bank. So that's more than double than what the property was worth. So I think mortgages are a scam as well. But it's the lesser of two evils in the world in terms of somewhere to sleep and eat. Dating is a scam. Dating websites are a scam as well, because you have to now pay to play and have a subscription to play on what is now only a gambling site rather than a dating site. You know, and most men don't have a chance on dating sites anymore. So they're just paying, they're just throwing money away, just maybe because they're bored. Well, probably because they want love. And we all know the facts and figures now, where 80% of men have got zero chance of even getting a coffee date. And dating sites put fake profiles on there to keep people hooked. So that is a scam, but it's a legalized scam. If we were to take money from them, they'd probably want to take us to the law system for fraud. But it's okay for the institutions to defraud you out of money by giving you fake profiles to match with. You know, people are now saying that university is a scam. And I do believe that to be true in some instances, but I can't really comment because university saved my life. And it made sure that I got forward in life when I was going through a bad time in my early 20s. But yeah, I see it as a scam if that education does not get you a great salary and you're paying tens, if not hundreds of thousands of pounds back for a pointless piece of paper. So I understand where people are coming from on that. I've never been married, but people tell me that marriage is a scam. You ask any divorced person, mainly men, and they will tell you that it's a scam. Are these men getting a refund for the time, the money and the resources they pumped into a marriage that obviously might have been set up to fail from the beginning? So that's, I look at marriage as a scam and a way of extracting resources from men. We've got the fake it till you make it culture, where people are putting everything on credit. People want to show the outside world that they're doing well.
Because I want to fit in.
Even if everything's on credit, because if people see that you're doing well with a nice car or nice shoes, or you've got a full wardrobe on a 3-payment Klarna plan, then people are more likely to accept you in the world, because when you look good, people assume that you're doing good and they're more likely to want to have something to do with you. Maybe because they want to try and extract from you, or they might want to see if you can help them do better in life. So I understand the fake it till you make it culture. And I hope it works for people, but only if they can get off that fake it till you make it treadmill at some point in the future. Social media is a scam. And I think social media is worse than crack cocaine now. Even I can feel myself getting frustrated and distracted with the mindless scrolling, and you just throw your phone and you say, you know what, fuck you. Because they've got you addicted, and it's a scam. You've got people trying to entice you into crypto scams. You know, you have bodybuilders on there that are definitely on steroids, and they're trying to prove to you that everything's natural. And it's all bullshit. We all know it's bullshit. So day in, day out, if not most of the planet are being scammed, while their eyes and their brains are taking in all this fake information, and it's a scam. And then people normalize this and think it's okay. How do you know that people love you for who you are as a person and not just what you can provide for them? When you get older, you realize that some people do use you, certainly in maybe love relationships. They use you for the lifestyle. They use you because you have money or something of value that they want. And I know it's a little bit red pill and doomer, but it's hard to differentiate between true love and love of what you can provide. And I know for a fact a lot of people can agree with that. Maybe it comes from being burnt in the past, but I think it's a good navigation tool to make sure it doesn't happen again in the future. I get it though, we live in a value-based system where humans need to help each other. And unfortunately for some people, they just get used because of their resources, or maybe they can help people get a better job so they can move up in the ladder of life and feed their families. So it's not all doom and gloom, because it's just a sad fact of reality for human beings. But it almost seems like a lot of relationships, certainly love relationships, they're all based on transactions. and not real love. Hey, look, maybe I've never found real love before. Maybe I am a little bit red pill. But I'm sure there'll be people watching this that probably do agree with this. I love my friendships now, and I try and keep my circle small because when you get older, you don't have all the energy like you did in your 20s to maintain a massive friendship group. And to be honest, it's exhausting. And I do a lot of interesting things with my friends, and I do see a lot of value in that. And I hope that, if the shit ever hit the fan again, and I lost my job, or I was broke again, or whatever, or I hit rock bottom again, which I hope I don't, that they would stick around and help pull me up. Because another sad fact of life is, if you lose your job, or you become bankrupt, or you lose money, or anything, or you just fall on hard times, it's very hard to find people that will stick around. Trust me, go through a hard time in life and see how many times your phone rings, or how many text messages you get. You'll find that it's a very lonely place. So if you do find people that stick around with you in hard times, then keep those people close to you because they are the real ones. So yeah, it's a sad fact of reality that love and a lot of relationships are conditional. And the condition is that you provide something of value. And it doesn't even have to be money. It could just be the fact that you make somebody feel good, or you make somebody feel a certain way. And this is the crazy one, because I'm sure there's people out there that would agree that we all feel like numbers on a spreadsheet. We all feel like we're just a number. We get given our national insurance number in the UK from birth. We get given a passport number or a driving license number. And I understand we need this to create order in the world. And so the system knows who we are. And so we can't escape from the police or whatever, the government. And in the future, the system will know you by your number or your QR code. And it'll want to know where you are at any given time. And the system will know where you are. But the system doesn't care about you. The system has no emotions. It has no empathy. It's just there to try and extract as many numbers from you as possible. And the more that it can extract, the hungrier it gets and the greedier it gets. And we all know that. Try going through a bad life event like a divorce or maybe losing your house and see how quickly you become dehumanized and you become reduced to just a number and a vehicle for extraction of resources. I know that sounds sad, but that's the way the system works. It doesn't care about you. As long as you keep working and bringing your numbers in, it can keep extracting those numbers back from you. Isn't it any wonder that a lot of men are checking out of society now because they're fed up of having their resources extracted from them and seeing the numbers in their bank account reduced to very little? I don't blame them, to be honest, because when you feel like you're a used person, that's when you know it's time to go your own way. And this is just a brutal, sad fact of life. So although there are a lot of scams in the world, a lot of them illegal, many of them are legalized scams that we cannot even question in life. We just have to get on with it and pay for them. Although the world is becoming more and more fake with fake news and AI, who knows what we can believe in the future? Who knows what the future holds for humans in terms of the truth and knowing your truth? The only thing that you've got control over is your own internal truth and the truth that is around you. You have to know where you're going in life, and you have to know what truth means for you. Never ever let anybody force their truth onto you. Hey, even what I'm saying right now might not be true, but it's just what I think because of what's happened in life and what is still happening around the world today. So don't take what I say as gospel. But as long as you do some critical analysis and come to your own conclusion and have a truth that makes you truly happy, then nobody can take that away from you. I always say, try and act with integrity and do the right thing for your life. Treat people well, the people that deserve to be treated well. Do not lead people on and don't lie to them or gaslight them for your own selfish needs. And I'm sure that would make the world a better place, to be honest. Knowing your truth is understanding what will make you a better person, despite the crazy world that we're in. Know the truth about how fit you can be. Know the truth of where you're going and what person you want to be in the future. Know the truth about your friends around you and bring them into the truth. Take them forward into a better life. And don't scam yourself out of a better life either. Don't lie to yourself. If you're unhappy, do something about it. If you're fat, stop lying to yourself and do the work. If you want to become a super fit human, make your plans and don't self-sabotage. Stay away from negative vices. Things that will just make you feel shame in the future. Try not to get wrapped up in all these things that are forced down you and forced into your mind about things that should be normal, like OnlyFans, drinking alcohol to excess, drugs, porn, all the bad things. Try to ignore all that. So I'm just doing a bit of waffling now. I just thought I wanted to put this message out there and finish on a positive note. So thank you for listening today and good luck.
I'm the terror in the system, the one you fear. When I step in the game, you know it's clear.